So I've been kind of keeping this to myself this past 2 years and not really sharing my journey with PCOS and with my hormonal balance and my kind of health issues. And it's been like such a crazy 2 years. I've learned so much and I've gained so much insight in how to balance and kind of bring your body back to homeostasis. And I just felt called to kind of share some insights on what I've learned and kind of tips that I have accumulated over the past 2 years and just with trial and error in my own body. And, I just wanted to share it with you guys and hopefully it can help somebody who is going through the same thing, who has, some form of hormonal imbalance, or they've just been diagnosed with PCOS and they're just generally really scared, because I know at the start I literally thrived off these videos. This is all I watched, because when you're first diagnosed, your doctor doesn't tell you a lot of other than jump on the pill, get surgery sometimes even, like that's how far it can go in like Western healthcare. So you kind of just have to go out on your own. It's really scary and it's really, really uncomfortable. So I just wanted to share from my own point of view and from what I've learnt and from just general, life circumstances this year, how I can help you, transform your hormones and transform how you're feeling. So essentially about 2 years ago, I started to get really, sick. My body was changing like very fast. I had a lot of kind of major stressors going on in my life at the one time. I moved cities, I moved house, I started uni, and then I also left a relationship. So there was a lot of, things going on internally, stress wise, and I just feel like a link in the chain just broke in my body, and it was just like, okay, I can't do this anymore. And when I started uni, I started to get really severe cysts on my ovaries, and I was always in pain. I was always like lying in bed crying, literally having to go to the hospital, coming home, to Derry, and having to go to hospital all these different times. And they just said, you've got cysts in your ovaries, they're okay, that's pretty normal. Sometimes they just burst and you have to just get on with it. So I just took that as what it was, and then I started to get such severe acne, like around like here, around like it was all hormonal here, and it would come in cycles and my hair was falling out, and then by Christmas my period just went AWOL. So that's when I knew I kind of had something up, and I wasn't diagnosed then until April 2018. So it wasn't until about April time that I started to actually take my health serious and be like, right, I need to sort this out. I know that I've been living out of alignment and that I need to kind of bring myself back to what I used to be like in my usual health, because it was really affecting me in every area of my life. Your hormones can be so, they affect everything. They affect just your general well-being, and when they're out of balance, you're out of balance, and it just affects you in so many different levels. So I just wanted to share, how I fix this. So the best thing to do to start and really bring yourself back to balance and calm yourself down is to really stay in the present moment and become best friends with the present moment. I know when I was really in the pits of like all my symptoms and I wasn't feeling well, I really was just worrying about what the future would hold and thinking about when I wasn't sick and when I could go out and do all these things with my friends, or when I wasn't feeling like this. I just was constantly living in the past and living in the future. And you really have to become so centered within yourself, and your body will tell you so much when you actually, stay in the present moment, become friends with the present moment, and let go of that whole mental narrative that you should be somewhere else or you shouldn't be like this, and just accept, let go of all resistance and just accept where you are, and really try and bring yourself back to the most calm and relaxed self as you possibly can. And it's just such a good healer, and it's such a good way to start before even looking at food and meditation and exercise. You really need to just accept where you are and be in the present and be as loving as you possibly can. PCOS is just an invitation to love yourself even more. I think it's a kind of, it happens because you're not living in alignment and you're stressed. I feel that is quite a common theme within women that have it. And it's very stress and emotional related, and obviously living in a toxic environment and world, whatever else, affects this as well. But I just feel like you need to really become best friends with yourself and just slow down and take so much time for self-care. And also keep your vibration high, you know, do things that really make you happy. If you're in the pits, just keep going and try and stay as kind of high vibrational as you can, and read loads of positive content, you know, be with your friends, even if you don't feel like it, be around people that lift you up, and realise that you're not dying, you're not sick, you're just going through a transition, and it's all temporary. It really is all temporary. And it's so easily worked through if you're ready to commit and ready to become at one with yourself. So that is really, you know, how we have to just start and begin the journey. For me, changing up my diet was like a major catalyst for me and my hormones, and it's just such a fun experience to actually just start really working on your diet and your food and incorporating loads of high vibrational and plant-based foods into your diet. And obviously, you know, we get all these different suggestions when we're in the doctors. Like, there's so much conflicting information we're given from online and the doctors, and they're saying you need a keto diet, and it depends on what kind of way you're affected hormonally. You could be really overweight, you could be, you know, underweight, just could be a bit like malabsorbed. It's just really hard to know. It's like a big spectrum because PCOS is a syndrome. It's not just, you know, defined by one thing. So everyone's kind of affected differently. But the one thing I found within myself and a lot of other women I've spoken to who have similar situation and similar hormonal issues, they all say, you know, and I feel as well, that a plant-based and a whole foods diet is the best way to go. It's, you know, the best way to support your body when it's trying to cleanse and detoxify. So loads of fruit, loads of vegetables, and like a lot of maybe some avocado to start to kind of heal your adrenals and to heal you know, your nervous system. So I would really recommend starting to swap to plant-based, and I'll be sharing more videos online and on YouTube of my recipes and like some things that I cook, because I love cooking and it's such a creative process for me, and it's like my favourite thing to do now, so I'll have to share more on that. But essentially, you know, swapping to organic products as well, it's really good. And if you're not vegan, that's okay, you don't have to be. Like, just make sure like your eggs, your meat, your chicken is all really well sourced and organic, and it can be quite hard to get really good organic produce, especially in Ireland. There's not really many farmers markets where I live, so if you have farmer markets handy, then like run to them and get as much as you can, and just like use your intuition, just look at the colours and pick what you want. You know, like the diet is so simple, just eat your rainbow, and that's the best way to balance your hormones. And it's changed my life so much. Like, I'm just so much more energetic, I have clearer skin. It's really amazing for your acne. If you're like struggling really severely with acne, you know, it's very, very simple to reverse if you really take care of your diet. So the next thing that I need to touch on is also, you know, what products we're putting on our bodies. And this was another thing that really shifted my health and really brought myself back to balance and brought my hormones and my period back, was actually swapping the products I was using on my body. So the world we're kind of living in now is quite toxic anyway, and as you probably know anyway, that there's a lot of toxins and nasty chemicals in things like our toothpastes, our deodorants, and just in our makeup products, and it can be quite a kind of personal thing for you to be like having to change, because you just get so attached to a brand and you get so attached to a product, and you're like, you just have so much like attachment to it, you don't want to let it go. You're like, no, hardly, I can't do it. But you know, you need to kind of look at what you're putting on your body, because it really affects your hormones and it affects your liver. And your liver is basically like a transit center for everything you put on and inside your body. And when you have PCOS, we generally tend to have quite a sluggish liver, and it's quite hard for our liver to process the hormones, and that's what causes more imbalance. So we want to be making our livers have the easiest job ever by swapping out the organic products, or swapping out the nasty products for organic products. And it's really, really important that we do that. So get a fluoride-free toothpaste. and get an aluminium and paraben free deodorant, and then just start, whenever some of your foundations and things like this start to run out, then look for more brands that are a bit more, non-toxic, and start using that instead. And I have to be very careful with what I put in my skin now, because I do feel the difference when I don't use things that are quite low in not filled with loads of chemicals. So try and do that if you're really, really committed to the healing path. So another thing that I literally had so much resistance to, and I know it can be quite a annoying thing to hear, and a lot of people don't like to do it, it is give up coffee. And I literally, oh my god, I drank about 3 cups of coffee a day this time last year, for like every day, 2 or 3, especially at uni. And if somebody said to me this time last year, you'll not care about coffee ever again next year, and you won't even think about it, I would have literally laughed in your face, because coffee, it's just such a nice kind of ritual that I used to have, like waking up in the morning, having a coffee, or like going for a wee coffee on my own or with my friends. It was like such a nice ritual, and it can be quite detrimental for someone to like give it up so quickly. But the thing with coffee is it kind of does a number of kind of things with your hormones. It really imbalances your blood sugar, and it can raise the cortisol in your body, and it's quite acidic. It's like doing 3 things at the one time that we don't really want with PCOS. So coffee essentially leaves you quite jittery and quite all over the show. If you've ever had quite a strong coffee, you'll feel like quite hungry after, or a bit thirsty, and that's because your blood sugar is on a bit of, it's like wavering, because it's quite a diuretic and it flushes you a lot. So we have to be quite careful with that, and it's also quite a stress on the body to be drinking coffee. And when you have PCOS, it is all about reducing stress and calming your nervous system, and really bringing yourself back down. You don't want any anxiety, you don't want any jitteriness, and it's all, just about slowing the body down and not giving anything to stimulate and keep us very, upper. We want to be very relaxed, so our hormones can kind of come back to their normal way. So I know it's quite difficult, but maybe just do it in the most loving way possible. Like, for me, I started having 1 a day, and then 1 every 3 days. And sooner or later, you will start to kind of not feel the cravings for it so much. And if you do, just get a really nice, high quality coffee, not just ones off the high street like Starbucks or Costa. Like, go to a good coffee shop and get a really high quality one if you're really craving it. And then once you start to kind of strip away, you can make it like a week, whatever, 2 weeks, and then you'll probably not really crave it so much. Or you could also opt for decaf, and that's what I do now. I always get a decaf coffee, or a matcha green tea latte is also quite a nice refreshing drink to have if you need a wee bit of energy. It can give you a lot of energy, but it's not going to leave you with that kind of crash you get after coffee. And I know now that my hormones changed so much when I stopped drinking coffee. Like, my periods started to come back regularly. So it just shows that coffee was probably triggering me a lot and causing a lot of imbalance. So definitely think about coffee, and think about trying to move away from it and being more loving in the way you do it. Like, don't just cut it out cold turkey, because that's stupid if you're really addicted. But it's just a nice way to do it if you're just, wanting to have it once a day, then once every 3 days, and then so forth. So that's just another kind of tip. So healing your gut is probably the most amazing part of the healing process that you could kind of think about. The gut is our second brain. It's where all our serotonin is released. It's where we release all our excess hormones, and again, all about the detox, all about letting go of the excess hormones. And when you're flowing that way, you just feel so good in life. You just feel like you can take over the world. So yeah, you need to really look at your gut. The best way to kind of go about taking care of your gut, if you're just starting out, is to maybe invest in some probiotics and digestive enzymes, and this just kind of helps balance out your gut bacteria, helps everything kind of flow. Another amazing thing that I swear by is oregano oil, and it's just basically a herb that like pulls out any candida, any excess kind of toxicity in your colon, and it really pulls it along with it. And it's such a powerful herb for your digestive system, and I can't recommend it enough. It's just so amazing. And candida is basically just some bacteria that kind of feeds off sugary foods, and it's quite, you know, it can be a bit of a player in PCOS and in hormonal imbalance, so definitely look at oregano oil. That is so amazing. Another big factor for healing your gut is dry fasting. So dry fasting is a window of time that you give your body to detox. So you may, you know, finish dinner at 6 p.m. and then you'll eat again the next morning at like 8 or 9, whatever like that. And it just, you know, it's just not eating or drinking anything within that hour, couple hours, that your body can process what you've eaten in that day and detoxify and, you know, set yourself up for the next day. And when you actually do that, you will have really regular bowel movements the next day, and you'll have a really good kind of brain gut connection. You know, you just need to keep doing that every night, and it just gives your digestive system time to heal and rest and digest and repair. Okay, I've had to turn on my light. The lighting's a bit bad. It's like getting into evening time. But another really important part of this healing journey is dry body brushing. And this is unreal. This literally changed my life. I'm not even joking, something so trivial changed my life. And essentially dry body brushing is kind of like brushing towards, you know, your lymph nodes, which are located on your armpits and like in your groin area. And underneath your skin, you know, is a lot of like excess toxins, excess hormones that we don't know is kind of lying underneath the skin. And the lymphatic system, which is essentially your body's sewer system, it carries around hormones, it carries around, you know, different cells, and they can kind of become quite stagnant underneath your skin. So a lot of people say to dry body brush towards your heart, but you should actually dry body brush towards your lymph nodes. So as I said, here in your armpits and your groin, and you just kind of like, you know, brush up the way into that area. Obviously naked, because you wouldn't do it with clothes on, but yeah, you just dry body brush up like that. And I will link, there's a girl below, she demonstrates it so well and she's so full of energy. I'll link that below, and she gives a really good demonstration. So obviously, you know, with your legs, you dry body brush towards your groin, and then with your arms, you know, you dry body brush from your neck and chest up into your lymph nodes and your armpits. And essentially that helps carry excess hormones and helps carry, you know, any dead toxic cells that's living under your skin. And again, it's just letting go of toxicity, and it's such a great way to get rid of hirsutism, which is another really common symptom with PCOS, and it's like excess body hair. And I wasn't too bad with excess body hair actually, so I'm very lucky, but because I'm blonde, so it wasn't so intense. But I know that there's a lot of women that have really dark hair in their body, and they've claimed that like dry body brushing has just completely transformed the hair in their body. I get so excited about this because it really helped me so much, and it's actually quite good for, you know, if you have any stubborn oh god, what am I saying? If you have any areas with stubborn body fat, you know, you can dry body brush around there like extra, give it a bit of extra work, and it's so amazing for getting rid of toxicity, and it actually changes your body. I don't even know how like something this bloody cheap could do it, and I've walked past it a million times and didn't realise that's actually such a good tool for healing PCOS. So yeah, look into a dry body brush and you'll be laughing. I talked earlier about your adrenals and your nervous system, and that is a very emotional part as well as your physical. And essentially your nervous system and your adrenals can take a bit of a beating when you're stressed, you're really emotional, you know, you're training in a way that isn't suitable for your body. So essentially essentially your nervous system, you want to really be working on that a lot, and I'll be sharing more about emotional healing in my next video. I'm kind of going to break this into 2 segments because there's no one answer to PCOS healing really. It's more of a holistic approach that you can take and work from different angles, and it's not just, you know, having the perfect diet. It takes a lot of emotional work as well, and I'll be sharing more on that in upcoming videos with you guys. So essentially, if you're wanting to heal your adrenals and your nervous system, you want to be working in a way that is very, very calming. And as I said before, like coffee, cutting out coffee, training in a really nice way. So, you know, instead of running to the gym like I did, which was a mistake I really made, which was I used to run to the gym every day and was so scared to put on weight, and it was just this fear that I had around PCOS and the indoctrinations that were put on me, and this kind of fear of losing my identity to PCOS. And it's like such a common thing, and it's okay, and I've definitely like let that go now. You know, I don't have so much resistance to putting on a bit of weight or whatever. Like, I just have to trust my body and trust what it's going through. And I had to kind of start implementing more yoga, more walking, being in nature, connecting with your feminine energy. Sarah Armaid, she's an amazing thought leader on feminine energy and healing your adrenals and your nervous system, and I'll link her below as well. You might be familiar with her videos if you're stumbled across this, because her videos are very similar, but she is amazing to look at if you're really stressed and really, you know, you need some emotional work going on. She has a lot of programs you can tap into, and she's been really helpful for my journey. So yeah, again, starting to take more low impact exercises, so yoga, walking, being in nature, like Pilates, even just stretching and moving your body in a way that's really loving and really, really beautiful. So yeah, just be so loving with yourself. This is an invitation to take time for yourself and to slow down and to learn new things about yourself, about your body, and just gain so much more intelligence emotionally and physically, and regenerate your body. And it's such a loving and happy time, even though it feels scary. Looking back now, I wouldn't change it. You know, I feel so much better. If I kept going the way I was going, I would never have learned all of this information or try to, you know, eat a healthy diet. Like, I never done any of this previous. So it's a really amazing time to just get connected to yourself and grow spiritually and emotionally and look after your body and be really caring for yourself and for others. And it's just such a nice way to kind of reconnect. So good luck.